Hi YouTube, this is Felicia with Bible Scraps, and it has been a good while since I've shared any die cutting super tips, but I have some to share with you guys using the Cut and Boss by Teresa Collins. Now, many of you picked up this machine from Joann's maybe a couple months ago. It went on clearance for $60. Now, I was not interested when I heard about it because I feel like I have enough die cutting machines already, and I just really wasn't interested in adding another one to my collection. But Lord knows I needed one like this because, well, some of you, like myself, are recovering, or maybe you're having hand and arm issues. Well, that happened to me a little over a year ago, and so I looked into buying, I think it was this machine, but it was too much money. But anyway, I'm so happy that I picked this machine up. When I brought it home, I loved it so much, I got me another machine just for backup. So I'm going to be sharing with you guys some super tips on how you can get the best cuts with your most intricate dies. And I'm going to also share with you some sandwiches using the Grand Calibers plates. I will be demonstrating with two dies. Many of you have this die. It's by Cherry Lynn or Sherry Lynn. It's a doily die. There has been a lot of problems cutting out this very intricate die. I'm also going to be using a die by Crafter's Companion. It's this bow die, and I chose this one because I had problems cutting this one out. Well, I have a sandwich to share with you guys that will cut out both of these in one pass. When I ordered my machine, I went to Amazon to see if there were any accessory plates, and I purchased what I found. I will have links to these items. I ordered two different sets, and so I'm not sure what came in which set, but once again, I'll have the links. You can buy a metal cutting plate or adapter plate, and also the two black ones, they're both magnetic sheets, but one is thicker than the other. So once again, I will have links in the description box. For this first cut, I am following the instructions that you can find in the manual for using the Craftwell dies with the adapter plate, except I'm not using a Craftwell die. Also, I'm using paper that you could pick up at Walmart. Now, the only problem I've had with this machine, if it's a problem, sometimes it will cut off right in the middle of a cut. And the only thing I do is just press the on button and then it comes right out. That don't happen a lot, but it has happened. I love not having to have to crank. And this machine is quite small. I was hesitant to purchase it because I thought it was going to be big, like my Big Shot Pro, but it really isn't. It doesn't take up any space. Okay, using the sandwich in the manual, you can see that most of it did not even impress. This whole area here and this whole area here, you could see it did cut out there. You know, let me just take it out. Oops, I didn't want to take it all out. Okay, but yeah, it did not do a good job at all. This area cut out, some over here, but none of that, this side and this side cut out. Now I'm going to cut out this intricate bow, and I'm adding 2 mason jars just to not waste paper. I'm going to use washi tape. I don't always use washi tape, but for this one I will, because my paper barely covers the dies. And I'm going to follow the same sandwich. I have to say, well, You know I love it if I purchase 2 machines. I love it, love it. To me, it's fairly quiet. It's quick. And with my super tips, it gets the job done. You shouldn't have any problems cutting out your basic die shapes. It's just those that are intricate that will give you the problem if you don't have the right sandwich. Okay, so let's see how this fared. No problem cutting out the basic shapes. But this is the one I'm interested in. This one right here. Linda, if you are watching, you requested that I use this tool. It's by Spellbinders. I love it. I need to get another one because it's broke down there. You could pick this up at your local craft store. So let's see just how well it did. I could tell though, some areas did not cut. And sometimes you may have to go in and wiggle like this. Overall, it did a better job than my doily die. Okay, not too bad with this paper here. Once again, this is the Walmart brand of paper. But I think I'm going to cut it out using a paper that I had problems with, because in one pass it cut all of these pieces out. And if I had my little needle on the end, I could go in and get these very small ones. I'm going to cut out the bow again, but I'm going to use this paper here. It's a cardstock paper. And you know, it's kind of thin, but it is cardstock weight. It actually feels thinner than the Walmart paper, but it did not cut this bow out all the way. So I want to share that with you guys and then share with you my super tip. So I'm following the same, or I'm using the same sandwich. Sometimes the plug in the back will come out. Now it's on. Okay, so here's the die. And to use this brush, it's really easy. You brush. You can go back and forth like that. Sometimes I even will do it from this side. Okay, so now, okay, so you could see here that a lot of it did not pierce through. A lot of it on the top, though you can see the embossing on it, and it's actually tearing when I try to take it out. Now I'm going to share with you my super tip for cutting out intricate dies. Start off with your Craftwell D platform plate, and then your Sizzix Precision plate. You can use some of the other accessories by different companies with this machine. All of them don't work, but this is a must-have, not just for your Big Shot Pro or your Big Shot, but if you have this machine, it works great. Lay that down, and then your paper, kind of doing things backwards because this plate is meant to be cut into. Then add your dies. Top it off with the metal plate that you can buy for the cut and emboss. And we're going to end it with the Calibur C Cutting plate. Now, I don't have the Calibur machine. I do have the original Wizard when it first came out, and I still have my plates. I think Spellbinders make the best cutting plates on the market. These plates are indestructible. I took a chance and ordered the Grand Caliber plates, and you know what? They work. They last forever, you guys. This is where the magic happens. You see all my impressions here. Alrighty, let's start off with the bow. And that's how it looks. I'll be using the 3-in-1, I think it's called that. You guys have to pick up one of these brushes if you don't have one. Sizzix, they came out with one, or Tim Holtz did. I love mine. It makes die cutting that much easier. I'm going to grab my other one in a second. There are some pieces left in there, but you can wiggle those out. Be careful. You don't want to tear your paper. You could see that it die cut out all of these small pieces. I'm going to use a pin here just to puncture through the ones, these tiny ones there. But look at this, you guys. One pass. Let me compare it to the other one that I did. You see here, none of these came out, and I can't even use the pen to punch those out. The difference, one pass, amazing. Okay, let's check out the doily. Now, this part didn't cut out, and it could be because I didn't have it all the way on the plate. So pay that no mind, because we're really interested in the center part. Do you hear the confetti falling? I can see through it, you guys. Let's see. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. Okay, so let me turn it back around and get, well, let me see. Get this area here, because this is not bad. Okay, let's take a look at this. Okay, wow, you see all this here? It all came out. This area here, just going to wiggle it. Can you see it falling? So wiggle what you can wiggle out. And then you could use, I would use the end of this, but it's not functioning. Get your needle or something really sharp and just punch it out. But can you see how all these pieces, wow. One pass, you guys. I have to admit, well, some of you saw my Sizzix Supertip video, and I did use this die. I think this sandwich and this machine did a better job based on what I remember. Wow, you guys. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. Point out something else. It really does make a difference whether you have your die face down on the precision plate or face up. I did 2 additional cuts, and this cut here, I had the die facing up. And you can see, if you could see, a lot of the small parts didn't come out. Over here, you see the holes. Over here, you don't. And this is a different type of paper. This is by We Are Memory Keepers, and it has like a little gloss to it. It is a thick cardstock, though. This is a cut where I had the die faced up. I didn't go in to use my needle to pop the rest of these out, but they're coming out. But you could see holes around the whole perimeter of the doily. So it does make a difference. You want to have your die face down into the precision cutting plate. Some of you may be wondering, okay, will this sandwich work with the cut emboss cutting plates? Well, let's try it. I haven't played around with that. Well, maybe I did and I didn't experiment enough. Okay, so going to add pink paper. Same sandwich, except instead of using the Calibur C Cutting plate, I'm going to use 2 Craftwell 8 plates. And let's see what results we get. Now, if your sandwich is too thick, it will not, it won't go in. Sometimes that might be too thick. Alright, so let's take away one of the 8 plates. This is cutting the magnetic sheet that I got from Amazon. I'm going to try that along with the Craftwell's B plate. What I like about Spellbinders, because it cuts down on the number of things you have to use to make your sandwich. See, now that's going to go in, but let's see if it comes back out. Oh, not yet. Okay, let's see how this fared. Oh, that's looking good. Okay, let's pop it out. I guess if you used a pen, you could go in and, well, no. You can puncture many of these out. It just doesn't come out as easy as my original sandwich. But hey, if you played around with your sandwich, maybe added a layer of paper, you might get better results. So if the bowl didn't cut out all the way, well, I could tell the doily didn't either. You could tell because there's some areas where the impressions are light. All that here, that's not going to, the paper won't fall out. So I'm not going to even try to take out the small particles. You know, let me send it through again and see what happens. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that looks a whole lot better. All right, let's do this. And you can keep all these particles, the confetti, and put them in shakers. I'm not doing that right now, but in the future I will. Looking good, looking good, looking good. Wow. Okay. This looks really good, you guys. Wow. Fantastic. You know what? I don't even need to use this. Okay, one is right there. You know what? This may have done better than my well, this is 2 passes. Keep that in mind too. Yeah, so send it through twice, you guys, because you might not have to use a pen to puncture out the remaining particles. Amazing! Okay, you guys, let's take a final look at my cuts. Remember, these 2 were cut using the sandwich in the manual. And though I stated that this bowl did a good job. No, it actually didn't. When I looked at it more, on the back side, you can see where it did not cut out at all. Yeah, so nope, didn't work. Didn't work here. It did not work here on the back. You can really see how, look, you see the holes here, but there's absolutely like large areas where there is no impressions. These two were using my Supertip sandwich. Perfect. This one, I used another sandwich, not using the Grand Calibur dies. This was the last cut I made. Perfect. Sent that through twice. Here's a bow, and I forgot which cut this one was, but yeah, I forgot, you guys. Sorry. Don't know when I made that one. And then these two here, I showed you how your cuts will depend on whether or not you have your die facing down into the precision plate or facing upwards. Down gave better results. Remember, all these were one pass, except this one was two pass. I hope you guys have found this video useful. It makes me so happy that I purchased two of these machines because it does an excellent job even with intricate dies. I tell you, those doily dies, many of you love to hate it or hate to love it or whatever because they're so intricate. You rarely would get a good cut unless you use certain types of paper. Now, with that being said, you guys, I think it'll be beneficial to you to pick up the cutting plates by Spellbinders for their Grand Calibur machine. You can actually cut directly into them. These will last a long, long time. Also, a must-have, you got to pick up the precision plate, you guys. This is indestructible and this will last forever. I can't see any cut marks, and I've been using this a whole lot. Well, I thank you guys for watching this video, and be on the lookout because I will have more sandwiches to share with you guys. As always, blessings.